There was a night when power looked like weakness, when a king chose to kneel, and when love was not spoken loudly but proven quietly. It was the night before everything changed. Most people would have missed it. No armies gathered, no crowns were placed, no victories were declared. Yet on that single night, the course of humanity shifted forever. Jerusalem breathed under pressure. The city was alive but not free. Roman prints hung over every street. Soldiers moved through the crowds. Authority was visible, heavy and unyielding. Still, beneath the tension, something deeper stirred. Hope. For generations, the people of Israel carried a promise. It lived in their prayers, in their traditions, in their memory. A deliverer would come. A Messiah would restore what had been broken. Every year, that hope resurfaced during Passover. It was more than a meal. It was identity, a remembrance of rescue. Scripture had preserved it. It is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover, who passed over the houses of the people of Israel in Egypt. Exodus 12:27. The lamb, the bread, the cup, each carried meaning shaped by history. But now, something greater was approaching. A man named Jesus had walked among them for years. He healed the sick. He restored the broken. He spoke with authority that did not come from institutions. The people listened. Some believed. Others feared. Religious leaders saw a threat, not just to power, but to order itself. Quiet plans formed in hidden places. The decision had already begun to settle. He had to be removed. Yet the deeper reality remained unseen. What appeared like human plotting was moving inside a divine plan. Nothing about that evening was accidental. Jesus sent 2 disciples ahead with instructions that seemed ordinary yet precise. They would find a man, follow him, and enter a prepared room. Everything was already arranged. The upper room stood apart from the noise, a quiet space in a restless city. Inside, the table was set, bread without yeast, wine in cups, simple elements familiar to every Jewish household. Nothing extraordinary in appearance, but meaning does not always announce itself. Jesus entered knowing the weight of the moment. The time had come. Scripture captures this awareness. Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart out of this world to the Father. There was no hesitation, no resistance, only purpose. The meal began like many before it, but it would not end the same. Jesus took bread into his hands. He gave thanks. He broke it. Then came something new, something that would echo across generations. "This is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me." Luke 22:19. The words did not explain themselves fully in that moment, but they carried weight. This was no longer just a remembrance of Egypt. It was the beginning of something greater, something eternal. Then came the cup. "This cup that is poured out for you is the new covenant in my blood." Luke 22:20. A covenant had always required sacrifice. Before, it was lambs. Now it would be him. The shift was quiet, but absolute. What happened next did not look like power. It looked like responsibility passed on. The instruction was simple: do this in remembrance of me. Yet its meaning ran deep. This was not just about repeating a meal. It was about carrying forward a reality, a responsibility to remember, not with words alone, but through action. Through generations, this moment would continue, not as history, but as participation. Then came the moment no one expected. Jesus rose from the table. He removed his outer garment. He wrapped a towel around himself, and he knelt. One by one, he began to wash the feet of his disciples, feet covered in dust, feet worn from walking. This task belonged to the lowest servant. Yet here was the one they called teacher, doing it himself. Scripture records the meaning clearly. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. John 13:14. Greatness was being redefined, not by authority, but by humility. Not by being served, but by serving. Then came the command that would define everything. A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another, just as I have loved you. John 13:34. This was not ordinary love, it was sacrificial, active, uncomfortable. Even in that sacred moment, darkness lingered. Jesus revealed a truth that unsettled everyone. One of them would betray him. Not an outsider, not an enemy, one of his own. The room shifted, each heart examined itself. Scripture captures the human condition in a single question. Is it I, Lord? Matthew 26:22. No one was confident enough to deny the possibility, because deep down, each understood something about weakness. Judas had already decided, yet even then, Jesus did not expose him harshly. Instead, he offered him bread, a final gesture of closeness. Love extended even to betrayal. Peter, strong and outspoken, would also fail. Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. Luke 22:34. Strength would collapse under pressure. Courage would disappear in fear. This night revealed truth about humanity. Loyalty is fragile. Intentions are not enough, but failure is not the end. As the meal ended, the tone shifted. What began in quiet gathering moved towards silent tension. The elements of celebration faded. The path ahead led to suffering. Still, Jesus moved willingly. Scripture had already spoken of this long before. He was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. Isaiah 53:5. This was not unexpected. It was chosen. That night did not stay in the past. Its meaning continues, not through grand displays, but through small, consistent acts, through service, through humility, through sacrifice. The lesson remains clear. Love is proven in action, not in comfort, not in convenience, but in giving. Maundy Thursday is not just history, it's a mirror. It asks uncomfortable questions. Are you willing to serve without recognition? Can you love when it costs you something? Will you remain faithful when others fall away? The example is already given. By this all people will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. This is the standard, not perfection, but commitment. This story does not end in that upper room. It continues through anyone willing to live it. So take a moment, look at your life. Where can you serve instead of being served? Where can you forgive instead of holding on? Where can you give instead of keeping? Start there, because the world does not change through noise. It changes through quiet obedience, through unseen sacrifice, through love that chooses to act. If this message moved you, carry it forward, share it, reflect on it, live it, because the night love gave everything is not over. It is still unfolding through you.